Every once in a while, after going through a long, painful stretch of soulless sequels, bland reboots, and factory-made cash grabs, I stumble onto something that reminds me why I fell in love with storytelling in the first place. That's exactly what happened with K-pop Demon Hunters. When I first saw the title, I literally hissed. It sounded like one of those made by committee Netflix disasters. The kind you watch for 10 minutes before rage quitting. Maybe it's because I've never really been into K-pop. Okay, maybe a few guilty headbobs to BTS's Dynamite. But that's it. And as for Demon Hunting, I left that phase behind in 2016 along with that god-awful series, Shadowhunters. But after seeing so much fanfare online and the soundtrack literally charting at number 2 on the Billboard's Hot 100, I started developing a bit of FOMO. Like, what if this was one of those rare times when the internet was actually onto something? So I put it on, and to my genuine surprise, I was impressed, genuinely. The animation had this vibrant, almost nostalgic energy. The characters, lovable and distinct. The ever so timeless message of friendships still hits, and the music slaps. But before we get into all of that, let's give a quick plot summary. K-pop Demon Hunters is about a pop star group made up of 3 girls, Rumi, Mira, and Zoe, who also carry the responsibility of hunting down demons that prey on civilians and feed some ancient purple flame demon thing. And everything's going well until we find out that Rumi, the group's lead singer, is actually a half demon, a secret she has been keeping from her best friends. As the pressure starts piling up on her, things get even worse with the arrival of a mysterious demon boy band who seem to be fighting for the souls of the fans. Literally. The two pop groups collide in a passionate thrill ride that touches on various aspects of the human experience, from self-love, loneliness, and societal pressure, to shame, redemption, and the importance of finding community, and several others that I probably missed. And that's the plot, a passionately told story with characters you can't help but root for. Rumi, the protagonist, is a charismatic, kind-hearted teen working hard to achieve her goals, all while making time for her friends and fans. She's the emotional core of the group, balancing vulnerability with strength in a way that feels refreshingly real. Mira is blunt, sarcastic, and brutally honest, the one with the tough exterior and the driest one-liners. She doesn't hesitate to call Rumi out when needed, but beneath that snarky surface is someone who deeply cares, especially about Rumi and Zoe, the only people who truly let her be herself, unlike her actual family. And then there's Zoe. She's your classic sunshine in human form, cute, bubbly, energetic, and just a little naive. She shows love with her whole chest, whether it's towards her friends or her adoring fans. But as the toxic guy that I am, my favorite character has to be Jinu, a charismatic 400-year-old demon whose whole mission is to take down the girls so he can have his memory wiped. Turns out, all the stuff he's done in the past still haunts him and he just wants peace. Whatever it takes. The movie doesn't waste time pointing out that he's a very self-serving demon, but even then, I was still shocked as to how bad it was. That being said, it's a story that reminded me of the good old days, back when the House of Mouse still had that magic touch, that uncanny ability to craft timeless stories with timeless messages that hit you right where you feel it the most. Stuff that resonated across age groups, no matter who you were. And if I were to pick one flaw in the entire movie, it would be this. Even after humanizing the demon side of herself, Rumi still went on a full-blown, joyful killing spree. I would have thought that knowing her dad was a demon and that her mom actually loved him would have softened her up a ton, and she would have found a more wholesome way to bring things to an end. But hey, what do I know? At the end of the day, K-pop Demon Hunters is exactly what it set out to be, a vibrant, heartfelt, occasionally chaotic ride with real soul behind the sparkle. It's not perfect, but it doesn't need to be. It's stylish, emotional, and made with real passion, something you can feel in every frame. And in an era of half-baked reboots and algorithm-approved storytelling, that's more than enough. Now excuse me while I add the album to my playlist and pretend I am the fourth member of the group.